Before. Okay. Hi, this is Donna Walsh. Welcome to this week's Delevo Live session. This week I'm going to be talking about funnels. I'm going to talk about how to set up the funnel record, how to add steps to the funnel, how to set up split tests, how to check your sales, and a lot more. And as usual, there will be a question and answer on anything Delevo related immediately following the session. Okay, first of all, you need to be prepared for setting up a funnel. You need to have your products created and already set up, uploaded to Delevo. You need to have your HTML code available for all of your sales pages. That's your upsells, your downsells, your thank you pages, everything. You need to have all the HTML code ready. And you have to actually map out what your funnel will look like. So here's an example of what a funnel might look like. You have your free offer, which is your lead magnet. And then you have your entry-level product, which is maybe $7 or so. And then you have an upsell. Maybe you have a video series or another ebook or something. Then you're going to sell for $37. And then for people who don't use the upsell, you have a downsell. So maybe you offer them something that's not as valuable, maybe instead of an actual video series, maybe you offer them one video for $17 or two videos for $17, whereas your upsell for $37 had 5 or 8 videos in it. And then your thank you page. And of course, in all of these, you can sit there and add to it. Like for your upsell, you can have another you can do another upsell or a downsell for each one of the upsell and the downsell so that you create your funnel as long as you want. Like I have my upsell for one of my books has a lead magnet, which is $7 it's free for my list building. We'll use it as an example. Then I have an entry-level product for $7. Then I have an upsell that shows people how to create a lead magnet because this is for my list building book. And that's a series of 8 videos. And that I'm selling for $37. And my downsell is something on how to choose a niche, which is a short 15-page ebook that I sell for $17. Now, when they get the $37 upsell, now they're going to go to another upsell that has maybe my list building membership. And if they say no on that, then they get a downsell with maybe another ebook or maybe another cheaper membership or something else. So you can do that continually on, because after my upsell for my list building membership, then my next upsell is my one-on-one coaching, and then my group coaching for $197 for a week. For 4 weeks, etc., etc., etc. So my upsell continues up until my $10,000 program. So you can continue your upsells and your downsells for each one as long as you want. I really don't do more than my free offer, my entry level product, an upsell to my entry level product, an upsell to my which is my membership, and an upsell to that for the one-on-one coaching, because I don't want to continue to get them upsell after upsell for my customers to get frustrated. So I don't offer them my more advanced coaching. So I offer them the upsell after the list building is I offer them my group coaching for list building for $197 for 4 weeks. And then I will offer, then once I have them in that funnel, I will go after that. Once they get that funnel and they are in that, when they're into my coaching program, then I set up another funnel to get them into my more advanced coaching and all the way up to my $10,000 coaching, which is for a year. Okay, and that's basically 10,000 coaching for a year is basically one-on-one, where, or more like a mastermind group where there's only just a couple people into it. It doesn't have a lot of, it doesn't have a lot of people into it, so it's more personalized. So, but anyhow, you can create as many upsells and downsells as you want in Delavo, which is really nice with your funnel. So you don't have to worry about, setting up all of your upsells in Delavo itself. You can create your funnel with your upsells and not. Now, when we did the product things, that you can set up upsells in your products level, but this way you're setting up an actual funnel and getting them into an actual funnel. Okay. I don't want to save that. Okay, so in order to set up a funnel, you need to be in, again, the masters area. If you're not sure, just hover your mouse over the mode, in your main menu bar, and it will tell you what area you're in. If you're in the masters area, just click on mode, and it'll take you from the members area over to the masters area. Okay, now before you set up your funnels, I just want to tell you that you really need to have, and I'll set it up here and show you. I'm clicking on Store Funnels, and now I'm going to click on Add New because I set up a funnel to test it, of course, but I'm going to start from scratch, Add New. And this is where you actually set up your funnel. You can have as many funnels as you want. But in order to set up a funnel, you can see here that only PayPal WPP DP and PayPal PayFlow options are supported. Well, the reason I'm doing funnels now is because to have these, you need to have a merchant account. And I don't have a merchant account. So recently, John set it up so that you can use the offline payment options. I haven't tested it yet. I will say that because there have been problems with the payment options in the past where the people would get access without actually making the payment. Before they would send you a check or send you a thing. Not Stripe Ing. It has to be PayPal WPPGP or PayPal PayFlow. Again, John did set it up with the payment options. As you can see, I set up 3 examples for the offline. And the offline, I haven't tested it to make sure that you get the money first before you set it up. But I will test that because I'm going to write a manual on setting up the payment options. So I will test that and see if it's working now, but it did not work in the past. Now, be aware that offline does not support subscriptions. So if you're setting up a funnel with a membership, you cannot use the offline. Okay? I'm just going to pause for a second. Okay, so anyhow, I'm not really sure if offline works currently. John did tell me that he set up the offlines because I told him that I could not do this webinar because I didn't have a merchant account to do the PayPal and the PayPal PayFlow. Okay, so when you come here to the funnel properties, the first thing you need to do is set up your funnel. So you just can set up whatever you want. By default, Delavo will set up the funnel and the number of whatever it was. As you can see, 36 times I've been here on the funnel because this is the 36th product. So I'm going to just set up and call it an example funnel. But you can name it whatever you want. If it's your funnel for your your list building or a membership or something, maybe I'll just say this funnel is for my list building, because that's what I do have a funnel set up for. And then you can use a short URL, and just by putting in a something for your short URL like that. It's up to you. It's optional. And then you choose your live payment options. Okay, now I did set up, but these are fake. WordPress, WPP, and PayPal and PayPal Payflow. As you can see, I set them up fake. My API username was DW. My API password, I don't know. My API signature, DW. And just so that I could set this up and show you guys what the example is. But they're fake. Both of them are fake. So I'm going to choose PayPal WPP here as what I'm using, okay? And you also have a test payment option. This will be used for split tests when you have zero weight, and zero weight means that they don't have any weight, so they don't go. This is just actually for test payments. So I'm going to, again, use the PayPal WPP. Okay, and then you can have your backup payment option. This is the same with everything with Delaveau. I just use my default auto retry, which I have set up in my profile in my merchant settings. So I just use the default. You can disable auto retry of the field payments, or you can override backup payment options. And again, that would have been set up in your profile. You can auto add memberships, so maybe you want to give them a free membership, or maybe you want to, in my case, maybe I want to give them a one lesson in my list building, just so that I can use it so they get an idea of what it's about, or my one-on-one coaching. Maybe I set up something where they get a free one-on-one free group coaching. I didn't mean one-on-one because I'm too expensive to give that away free. But maybe I'll give them a free one-session group memberships that I have set up, just so that I can maybe rope them into purchasing my my group coaching or a membership site that I have set up. And you can do the customer's receipt for all products sold through this funnel. You can use the default, customize it, or disable. I like to customize mine. Just click the radio button and click on customize, and it opens up. The reason why is I don't like it saying site administrator. So I want to change that to my name, and from whatever email address that I want it sent from. This is my test Delaveau. John owns it, so in this case it would be sent from his test. But if I wanted it sent from me, I would have to add in whichever one of my email addresses I want to get people to get the emails from. So it doesn't matter what you put here. You can use the default, or you can use specific ones. Maybe I want to use an email for, if this was a list building and I had an email specifically for my list building, I might want to do the list building. And then it says, thank you for ordering the product, blah, 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 blah. You can do whatever you want to do to change it. And then there's a list of tags that you can add into the email, the package ID, all this kind of stuff that you can add to the email. It's just like it is on everything in Delaveau with the emails that are sent. Now, if you're sending this out, you can actually attach an ebook to this email if you wanted to. So maybe you're offering a free book and you want to attach it. I do not like to attach files to emails because people are leery because of how many Trojans, etc., have been in downloads. Had been on attachments that you send them on attached to an email. So I don't like to do the attachments. I give them an actual link that they can download it from my site. It's up to you if you want to do that. But the reason I wanted to show you this is I wanted to show you this delay minute section right here. Now, if you've got people in a funnel, by default, Delaveau will send them an email that, unless you've disabled it, that, this email. So you don't want them to get that right away before they've gone through your entire funnel. So I want to delay how long it is before this email is sent. I like to say 10 minutes. So they won't get this email with the sale link, and you know what those look like, right? Everybody, with that you get when you spend that Delaveau thanks it sends you to the thank you page, etc., and says thank you for ordering this, blah blah blah. Well, I don't want them to get that free book until they've gone through my full funnel. I want to try and get as much money out of them as possible. So I don't think it depends on the length of your funnel. You might want to delay it for up to 30 minutes or even longer. Maybe you don't want to send it for an hour or whatever. So you can put whatever you want. But I want people to go through my funnel before they get that first email. So when you're done with it, you just click on save and you close this window, and that's for your emails. And then here's your API post, your notification. Now, I just learned recently, and as you guys all know, I'm not very technically inclined, but what this AP post does, it can allow you for some autoresponders like Aweber that accepts APIs, that you can actually have this person automatically add it to your Aweber by using an API. How to do it, I'm not sure. I just found out that it's possible to do it with their name and their email address sent directly to Aweber through an API. The registration confirmation needed, again, you can use the default or you can use the customize. Registration confirm, you can use the default or the customize. And again, an API post with the registration logins. And then if you're selling your funnel through an affiliate program, you can use your default settings, which you have again set up in your profile, but you can override what you set up in your profile here by crediting the commission to the last affiliate or crediting the commission to the initial affiliate. I personally like to credit the commission to the very last affiliate. After all, he's the one that actually made the sale. So somebody might have originally sent somebody to the sales page, but they didn't make the sale. As you all know, and I'm sure you've read all over the time, that it takes up to 7 times to make the sale, that a customer will visit the sales page up to 7 times before they actually will make the sale. So it's up to you what you want to do, create commissions to the initial affiliate or create commissions to the last affiliate. Again, I like to do it to the last affiliate because I believe that they're the ones who made the sale. Now, the original affiliate should not have just sent the person one time to the sales page. They should be trying to sell the person through a campaign again. So, why should they get credit if they're not making the actual sale? Again, it's up to you guys. Now, if you do this, you have to if you set up an affiliate, you have to make it available through an affiliate program. So whatever affiliate program you want to choose, so here's the standard, all these other ones that I have set up. I'm just going to choose my standard affiliate program because that means everybody in my Delaveau system can sell this funnel. Or if you wanted to do it with your JV partners only, or maybe a customer only affiliate group, that would be somebody that had to purchase this product in order to be able to promote it. Or, maybe you have an affiliate series, anything that you have. Maybe you have a tiered, and you want to set up a tiered, you can do that. So whatever affiliate program you want to use, you can choose. In this case, I'm just going to do my standard so that everybody sells the product. It sells the funnel. And if you've set up campaigns, master campaigns, you can choose the campaign also. I have one example set up, so I'm just going to click on that. It's not for this particular product, but have it set up there. And if you don't want this displayed in the affiliate area, you would click this. Now, I don't know why you would want to do this. The only reason you should ever click the invisible one is for upsells. So, and that's because you don't, or one-time offers. Again, you don't want people to be able to sell a one-time offer unless they buy the other product. And actually, what I said before about multiple upsells, I forgot that that's only with one-time offers. So if you're having upsells, this is what you need to do. Whereas if you have a product, you can offer them one-time offers. Where an upsell, they can actually purchase it afterwards. Where an upsell, they one-time offer, they can only do it once. So once you have all of this set up, and this is actually just your properties for your funnel, click on Save. And that funnel is set up. And then automatically, you're taking them to the steps in configuration. So since there's no steps in your funnel, you need to set up your steps. So you want to add a step, and you want to set up the funnel, the actual name of the step. So my first step is going to be my lead magnet, which is free. So I'm going to add that step. My next step is going to be my entry product. So I'm going to add that step. My next step is going to be my upsell. My next step is going to be my downsell. Okay, why is it being slow again? And my last step in my funnel will be the actual thank you page. And you can add that step. Now again, after the downsell, whoops, I did this downsell when you can actually add more downsells, more upsells, as many as you want. But you would just have to name it something different, and I'll show you why when we get to the point where you do your conditions, what you're going to do after we have the steps set up. So I'm going to click on my lead magnet, which is my first step, so that I go to my lead magnet for my first step in my funnel. So this is my first step. So automatically, Delaveau creates a URL on your site. And so you can click on that. And as you can see, there's nothing there because I don't have anything set up, but it will take you immediately to the first step of the funnel. And this URL here is what you will be sending out to your people for, maybe on a sales page for your lead magnet. So I want them to get into it. So I do something about the book, and then on my get it button, it will be sent to this URL so that they automatically are become enrolled, so that they automatically start with the first step in the funnel. So that would be my lead magnet, which would be my free one. So I'm just going to type something in here. Whoops, I was wrong. You can type something in there if you want, but what you need to do is you need to copy your HTML for your lead magnet here. Now that can have images, etc., and etc. Just remember when you do images that it needs to be the full path in Delaveau. So make sure that the full path to the image. So I've already set up some example pages. Here's my first step page. And it says this is my first step. And what I did was I set him up. I just downloaded Composer for it. No, I don't see it. Right here it is. So I'm going to open my file. And for my first step here, and I'm going to get my source code, which is here. And I'm just going to copy and paste this. And this is why you need to have your HTML ready. And here on my page, I'm going to add the HTML from my lead magnet sales page. So there's my lead magnet. Now, all it does is, I'm going to save this and just show you what it looks like. And I'll click on the URL so you can see. And it tells you this is my first step. Well, this is my first step and it's my sales page. But I don't have any registration form for them to be registered, for them to download the product. So I need to make a registration form. Okay, so over here, you want them to register. So click on the registration form. And it's, again, a Delaveau normal registration form. And only enable what you need. Now, this is not, and this is what going to be used for everything in the funnel. So if you're shipping a physical product in one of your upsells, then you're going to need to add for the country, zip code, state, and city, and the address. But if it's only for a digital product throughout your entire funnel, then you don't need any of this stuff, and I don't ask for it because I've found that the more information you ask for, the less that people will be willing to give that information, and they're going to abandon you, and you don't want them to abandon it. So I only want to ask them for their email and their first name and last name for digital products. You can disable the double opt-in, or you can send them after they opt in exactly to the product. So I want to send them to my registration form after they registered. I want to thank them to the thank you page. No, I want them to send them to my entry product for the so that they're taken from my free product once they registered to my $7 product. So that'll be like my first upsell. So that's my entry product. Or if you want to, you can do a URL. And when the user lands, when clicked on the confirmation link, this is the page suggesting to confirm the user's registration. So you would not do that. But the URL too for the next step in the funnel would be my entry product. So I want them to go to my entry product. There, this one is incorrect. I'm sorry. It's nothing here. It shouldn't have anything there. I'm sorry I did that. And so after they confirm the it, or if you've used single opt-in, they're going to automatically go to this page. If you disable the double opt-in, the step they're going to has to be the entry product. If you've disabled, select disable option below. If no confirmation is required, then they're going to go to the next page. And when the lands on the confirmation link, then you want them to go to onto the entry product. After they registered, which then you want to send them to the step again for the entry level product. So this one here is this first one here, step URL 2, is when they actually click on a confirmation link if you have double opt-in, and the URL 3, this is the default return page, and this is after, this is where they're going to go after a single opt-in. So if you have disabled the double opt-in, the only one you really need to use is this entry product. If you have double opt-in, then you need to set up the steps so that they go to the entry product. And then just click on generate form. And here's your form for that. So I'm, again, just copy all the HTML, and you want to paste it right before the body tag. So just paste that onto the body tag, and then again, save it. And again, here's what it's going to look like. So it had the information, the sales letter here, which I just used. This is my first page. And then it has the registration form. And of course, here for your sales page, you're going to tell them, everything about your book, and tell them in order to get it to fill in their email address. Everything like you would do for an opt-in page, like you normally did for any page that you set up where you want to collect their opt-in. Now here where it says registered, you can actually change that in the option by going to the bottom of it, and here where it says register, I like to change mine when they're getting a free book for Get It Now, something like that, so that it doesn't say register. And I don't like to say purchase or buy, because first of all, this is a free one. So I do like to change the value of the button here, and it's at the very bottom where it says input type submit value, Get It Now. And once I save that, I'll show you that I changed the button from register. And you can do that for all of the default buttons in Delaveau. See, now it says Get It Now. So you could say, and I've read all kinds of stuff where you want to subconsciously make people think that it's their product that they're getting. So I like to say something like, send my free ebook now, send my free ebook, or something like that, so that it is referring to the actual customer, and they're thinking that the product is already theirs, and therefore they'll be more apt to send this information. So, when you're changing your submit button, just think about that that you want to subconsciously make your client think that it's their product. And again, you can do that through anything in Delaveau, any form in Delaveau, by just clicking the submit button here. And you can set in a list of tags here, or a list of elements, and we're going to come back to elements, and I'll talk about that. And your customer's receipt, I'm going to disable this first one because I want them to go through the funnel and get the final completely through the final, so that they get one email instead of 5 or 6. The customer conditions I'm going to come back to after we have all of the steps set up. So I'm just going to save this. And now I'm going to go to my next product, which is my entry product. And again, here it is with my entry product. And again, with here is my entry product. So whatever, I didn't have one created, but I'll just say example sales page and open it. And so this is my example sales page. Again, click on source, copy all of the HTML, and add it here. And there is your HTML. Now down here you'll see it says save revision. Uncheck that or it won't show up. I'll talk about revisions in a few minutes. And then click on there and you'll see that nothing showed up because I didn't write anything, did I? Yes, I did. Why didn't it show up? I don't know. Well, okay. Because this is an entry product level, it's going to need a sales button for it. So over there on the forms and the buttons, you want to click on the options payment button. And you can collect a theme, you can do a theme, you can do the options form, the options here. You got to add your product, of course. And I'm just going to say this test product that I've set up, or a URL, or a step. I don't want to go for a step. You can add options. You can enable the user information. Again, that's just the section with all of this stuff which you would not really need, so you don't want to enable it because you've already gotten this information in the previous when they got your oh, thank you, Luke, I didn't save it. So you don't want to enable the user info because you got that on the previous step. If you're shipping a product, if this is a shipping, then you can enable the shipping. You can enable the credit card section. Now you want to do that because you haven't gotten any of their payment information yet. So you want their credit card section is enabled. If you want to put a coupon code on there, you can click on that and you're going to have a coupon. If you give them a coupon, then that's going to show up on the form with their coupon code when they actually purchase this product. Now, when people are coming in my first step, which is $7 product, of course, I don't want them to get a discount coupon for it. I might give them a discount for one of my upsells for good customers or something. I tell them, if you purchase the product for $7, I'll give you a 25% off on the first upsell, something like that. But I would only do that for long-time customers or people on my list. I wouldn't do it for new ones. But it's up to you. And you can select the button image from the library. There's a buy now, a login, a thanks, proceed, or sign up now. Well, in this case, it's going to be for them to purchase, so I'm going to say buy now. Or you can upload your own image. Say maybe you have maybe your sales page here has all kinds of graphics in it. When you purchase your graphics, you got a sales button. So you want to put that here. You want to upload your button image here. Again, remember to use the full URL on any images that you upload to Delevo. Even if you uploaded it to the Delevo site, you need to use the full path. So always, always, always use the full path. So you could upload it, or if you had an HTML button, you could put it here and do it your choice. I'm just going to use the default one. So I'm going to generate the form. And there is my form. for that. And again, I'm going to put it right before the body tag, the ending body tag. I'm going to paste it. And there's my form in it. Now, that's for your payment form only. I'm going to click on Save, which I forgot, Luke. And I'm going to go over to see it now. And there it is. And of course, this would be your example sales page, would be your actual copy and options if you had any. And then here's your payment section: credit card type, MasterCard, Discover, blah, 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 whatever. So there's the cards that they can use. Luke, by the way, you asked me about Stripe. They're actually going to be using one of these cards through the PayPal, because remember, it's got to have a merchant account for it. So Stripe is not the way it would go. They would actually have to enter their payment here. And then there's the Buy Now button so that they could be taken. I didn't fill anything in, but they would be taken to the Buy Now section for that. Okay, so that's how you set up the payment option. Well, once they purchase or they don't purchase, you want them to go somewhere else after they hit that button, right? You don't want to get them to do that. You want them to go to your upsell. So go back here and click on, I'm going to save that. You want them to go to their upsell. So you need to add the upsell to the funnel here. Okay, so your next step you would go to after you've set up the payment is the actual upsell. So click on upsell, and here's your upsell payment. Again, you would set up your HTML just like I've showed you in the previous steps. And let me just create something real quick on Composer. I'm using Composer just because it's cheap. I guess it's free. This is my first upsell. I'm going to save it. Okay. And again, I'm sending it to my to that. But again, you want the source code. Click on the source code. And paste that here into your first funnel, into your first upsell. Now at this point, you don't really need to get any, well, you need to make sure that they again purchase the product. So you would again put in the payment option here, put in the payment option, doing like I just did in the last step. And then right above, you would do that right above the body tag, just like I showed you before. I'm not going to copy it again. Well, let me get it because I don't want to do it. There's the generate form. And again, I'm just going to copy and put that right there, right before my form. And I'm going to save it. And it's again going to show just like it did with that. This is my first upsell, and then the Buy Now button. I didn't need to have another registration form. I didn't need to have any forms for anything other than my actual information, my actual sales information, and my Buy Now. Again, you would pretty this up by using all of the graphics, etc., and it would, make it look much nicer here. So that's what you would do for your first upsell. Okay, so I'm going to save that. Now my next thing I'm going to do is my downsell, because if they didn't want the page, then I need to have a downsell. So I'm going to create a new one that says this is my first downsell. And I'm going to save it. I should have had all of these set up. Then again, you're going to get the source code. And paste it in here to your downsell. Okay, now again, on your downsell, you're going to need to put a payment button in here because, of course, I need to pay for the downsell before they can proceed. So again, I'm going to generate the form for that, copy it, and put it right before the body tag. And again, save it. And again, that's what it will look like here. And we'll set up the conditions for it now. So the last thing you need to do, there will be, Luke, I'll show you. I'll show you how to do that when we get into the next area about when we do the conditions. Okay, so after you do all your upsells, all your downsells, the last thing you want to do is your thank you page. So again, I think I already created one. Whoops. In Composer. I got myself out of there. I don't know why. Get rid of those. Going to do another one where it's my thank you page. I'm going to save it. And I screwed up by naming it something. I'll save it again. And once you have your thank you page up, then again you copy your HTML and you again put it onto your thank you page. Okay, so there's your thank you page. And then click on save. And this will be your thank you page. Well, it'll show up and it'll just say thank you. And what you need to do then is add add your tags. Once you have all of the steps done, then you do your configuration. On the very last step, that's where you want to customize your emails. And it has all your sales links and everything in it. So they're going to get that information there through their sales link. So it will be, thank you for ordering all the products. And so this download page would have it. And then you would just click on that and they would get it. Now in your on your thank you page here, you can see there's a list of tags and your user ID, or you can do the delivery block. This is where I do it, is I do the delivery block onto the page so that they get all the information on doing it. If you wanted to include a survey, you could do, include a survey, anything here that you want to do. Any of these tags you can use here. If you want to give them points, you can give them points, etc., etc. Okay, so you have a whole list of tags and then the list of them. So that's how you set it up. Now, I'm going to talk about list of elements before I do the add conditions. Oh, let me talk about save revisions first. Say that you've set all this up and you made an error, and you're not really sure when you did the error, so you can revise it. So you can actually revise this, and it will give you a list of the revisions. So this is when I actually set this one up and who set it up? Me, the date and the time is where my, remember that the time is where your server is, not where you are necessarily. And if you wanted to edit it, again, you can click on the button and see the revision. So if you have other people working and they made a revision, you can check and see what they did, or you can see who made the revision, because maybe you have a web person and they made an error. You can see when they made the revision and check. Or if you want to make several revisions, you can. And then maybe you want to change graphics or something, and you can do it here with revisions. Maybe you did a split test and you found a revision, you found what works better. So you want to revise the original one to the new graphics. And so that you could do that here. You could just do the revision. And then once you see the revision, if you see the revision here and it's a revision you like, then you just close the window, and once the revision is like, then you just, of course, save it. So this is just your revisions. Now the list of elements. Elements over here, you add an element. You could add a footer or maybe a header. Maybe in your footer you have your all of your information for your copyright detail, your contact me link, all that kind of stuff. So you can set up an elements for that. And there's the list of available tags. All of these tags you can use there in your revisions. But you can put your data here for whatever it is for your actual footnote, for whatever you want to have. Like on mine, I have all my links to all my legal stuff, and I have my copyright information, and I also have a form to register for my newsletter, that says, join my newsletter at such and such, and then they click on the link and they can be taken to my newsletter registration form. So you can do that here. So I'm just going to say data. Put your title in. Example element. And save it. So you can do that for whatever you want for your elements. And when you get here for your list of elements that can be used in the template, this is your element here. So this is the tag that would be for your footer, and you again would put that right before the body tag. So it would have all of your information for your footer. Now, why would you want to do this? Well, you want to once you do the element setup, you can automatically add that tag to every step in the funnel. And then sometimes in the future, say that you changed your email address, or you got a new computer, or you moved or something, and your contact information has changed. Well, instead of having to go back and change all of the information on your pages, you can just click on the example element, change the data here, and when you save it, every single one of your pages in this funnel are going to be automatically changed to the new information that you have in your elements. So you can set up an element for your footer. You can set up an element for a header, whatever you want to do. And then you can easily change for all of your pages in this funnel just by easily changing the one element. So it is a lot very, very time saving. Very, very much so. Okay, so now that we've got all of our steps up, I'm going to save it. And now we're going to go back to the very first one, which was my lead magnet, and we're going to set up the conditions. The conditions are what happens after somebody purchases this. Now, in this case, this is your after step condition. This is where they signed up for joined my list by asking to download my free product. So I'm going to add the condition, and if they get the product, they have a product, and that will be my free product, then what are they going to do? They're going to go to my upsell page, right? No, my lead magnet page. So once they get the free product, they've confirmed or they've been registered. If you have single opt-in, if they single opt them, they're automatically going to come to this information and go on the lead page, lead magnet. So once you have that, click on save. And now that's where they're going to go. They're going to go to the lead magnet page. Now you want to order a button. You want to put a button here where it's a one-click upsell. So here's your product, would be my entry-level product. And then I'm going to generate the form again. Copy that form. I could have done this at the beginning. And again, put that right before the body tag. Okay, so put that there. And then you would generate also a no thanks button. You would generate the form. And again, put that right directly above the body tag. Paste it. And save it. You could actually put those buttons there before you get into doing the conditions, or you can do it afterwards. But probably best to do it before, when you're actually fooling around with the source code, which I forgot that step. Sorry, guys. But after you have that done, then we'll do that. And then there are other settings. You can specify a different live payment option for each step. Why you would want to do that, I don't know, but you could. So if you want to use a specific one instead of the default, then you could click on this button and again do the default. Again, I use my backup is I use the default, which I set up in my first one. And send an email after this first step. I don't. Again, I want them to get my email at the end on my thank you page. So once I have this all set up, I'll click on save. And if you look at this, and whoops, I got 2 buy now buttons. I don't know why. So we'll just click on I guess I didn't need to put the information in again for the payment. I thought you did. And I'll click on Buy Now. Okay, it's because I didn't register. That's what it did that. But as you can see, that will happen, and will do this for every single one of your down sells and your up sells. So this is my lead magnet page. I had my payment option where they went, and I put in my up and no. I should have this my if they purchase and if they not. I don't know why it didn't do it on the button. This is the button type. Oh, I want to get the gift. That's why, because it was the buy now button. I want to do the proceed button. Remember to change that before you generate, because that's what happened was because I had the proceed, I had the payment button up there to show, but you want to change it to the no thanks or to the proceed button there instead of the payment button. So you would take those out, okay, and do that. So let's do the next one and I'll show you. So that was the step editor for the lead magnet. Now we'll go to the down sell. And here's the down sell information. Now again, I'm going to do a button and I'm going to do the proceed button. And this would be a one-click upsell. I would generate the form. And again, it goes right before the body tag. And then you're going to do your no button also. And so you're going to go on your button and you're going to do the no thanks. And it'll be the no thanks, generate the form. And copy and paste it in here. Save it and we'll see it, make sure that it turns up good now. Click on it. The proceed and the no thanks. And if they click on proceed, then I didn't set up the steps, so it doesn't have a step to go to for that. So what you would do is then come down here and add your conditions after this step. This is the upsells. So if they purchase the product, so this will be the product that's the upsell, then where am I going to send them? I'm going to either send them to the end of the funnel, the thank you page, wherever. This is not the end of the funnel because I need to send them to the thank you page. So I'm going to do that. And then if I add a condition, if any, they're going to go to the end of the funnel, so you don't have anything for them to go to unless you're sending them to another downsell or to an upsell, whatever you want to do here. So if they have this product, which is the product that is this upsell, and they choose no, then I'm going to delete that. So they will, you need to define alternate conditions. After this step for the condition here, all of this is the beginning ones, is the first one, but here you define the alternative conditions for the no thanks, and you add the condition there, and if any they don't have. But if you want them to go to another upsell, then you need to, they would have the original product, right? So this would be the original product. Then where are you going to send them? To the another downsell, another upsell, a thank you page, whatever. Whatever you want to do here is what you're going to be doing. So you set up your conditions for both options before, if they have the yes and for the no. So for the no thanks action, they're not buying that product. So you need to send them to the thank you page, to the end of the funnel, etc. Okay, on the other sections, it's the same thing. Specific live panel, it doesn't change. If you want to send the email after this step, I don't, again, send it because I want them to go to the thank you page. So when they go to the thank you page, that's where I will send an email out. So for this one here, I would just say the thank you page if they said no, and click on save. And I would probably have this blank. I would just send them to the thank you page because they haven't purchased this particular product. And there they are, and this is what it looks like. Proceed, no thanks. And again, I'm going to get an error. Well, it went to the thank you page. So they went automatically to the thank you page, and that's where they would have it. So as you can see, when you set up your conditions, it will send you to the next page, to the thank you page, etc. Don't forget, on your thank you page, you're going to need to give them the links to the products, or send them somewhere to the links for the products. So once you have this all set up, this is how you set up your steps in your configuration. And again, you can have as many steps in there as you want, as many upsells, as many downsells as you want. In this case, I just set up a few, but you can do, you can set up as many as you want. Now let's talk, I'm going to unmute everybody for a second to see if you have any questions, okay? Let me find here, and I'm going to do all. Stephen, I see that you don't have access to it. So does anybody have any questions about what I set up here? Stephen, you can type in the chat if you're not sure. But does anybody have any questions about what I've covered so far?
I only had one question about the affiliate, what you were explaining. So it went a little bit too fast for me.
What was your question? I'm sorry, Luke, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, about the affiliate, you explained something when you would give them the right to, how was it? That's why I didn't. I couldn't completely follow it.
Okay.
So you explained something about affiliates, if they could promote it or not, because it was one sell, or it was an upsell, or I don't know.
Oh, the invisible?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the invisible doesn't really apply here. When you're setting up a funnel, it applies more to OTOs. So because you don't ever want to have an OTO show up in your affiliates page, so otherwise they can promote the OTO without the customer actually buying the product. So I make it invisible. OTOs I always make invisible. It doesn't really apply here, because if you don't display this, and this is the actual start of the funnel. If you don't do it in the display it in the affiliate page, they're not going to be able to promote it because they're not going to know what their links are, what their promotion links are. So because it's only for the first step of the funnel, it doesn't have anything to do with the upsells or the downsells. They're not going to show up in your affiliate page. Only an OTO will. Okay, because an OTO is a regular product. So I don't allow OTOs to show up in the affiliate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions on that? Bill?
No, I'm liking this. I'm liking this system in that sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's Bakari arriving very late. Wade into it. He's going to have to watch the video. Okay. So if nobody has any questions about setting up a funnel or about setting up the steps in the configuration, I'm going to pause. I'm going to again mute everybody, and we're going to talk about split tests. Now, you all know split tests are great, right? I mean, you want a split test to find out what works and what doesn't. So you would just click on the split test and click on Add New, and your tested step that you're testing, maybe I want it to be my lead magnet. So I would want to split test my lead magnet. So lead magnet 1, that would be my first one, and the test description is what I'm testing. Maybe I'm testing graphics. Because you can do multiple, once you test your graphics for a bit, then you can come back and test, find out what graphics are the best. Then you could come back and test your copy. You could test your wording on your submit button, all that kind of stuff you can do. Then you click a start date, and we're going to say start it today, and I'm going to end it in a week, the 30th, and the decimal precision is 1. That's just, don't everything, I'm not really sure what it is, and I asked John, and he never answered me. And you could exclude users if you want from, and so these people would not be able to do your split test. But once you have it, then click on Save. Okay, so there's my lead magnet, and there's my split test. So there's my lead magnet 1, the start, the end, and once you have this run, then you have your stats, and it shows me the split page is the default page, how many visitors, how many unique visitors, the actions, the conversion rate, the initial blah, 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 blah. So this was for the default page, okay? So once you have that set up, you want to go back to your steps and configuration, and you want to add a split page. Okay, so there's your default page, and then you have a new split page, and you want to put that information here. And the weight, as you can see, for the default page is 10, and that's your highest number. If you want to give it a 50-50, then add 10 to that, so that the weight is now 10 for the new split page. As you can see, it's 10 and 10. So you're going to get 50% to the default page, 50% to the new split testing page. Again, you're going to want to add all your information like we've done in the steps here. And this again was I wanted to do that for my lead magnet, so I don't know why I did that. So I do my add split page for my lead magnet, and I have that all set up where my default is 10. And again, now I would set up my new sales page here. And when people come to this lead magnet page, 50% of the people will come to the original page, 50% will come to the new split page, and you can name it anything that you want. And, again, just set up everything like we did before for the original one, where you've got the same thing duplicated here as you had in your original page. So you're setting up everything, and you do have your thing. And then once you have it, click on Save. Okay, so 50% of the people will go to the default page, and 50% of the people will go to the new split page. And again, if you want to see what the information is, just click on Split Test. And because you click on Stats, it's the actual page, the stats. And because I don't have anybody that went to the other one, I don't have anything. I don't have any information on it. But if you click on default page, it will take you here to the default page so you can see what it is. Okay, so this is really neat. You're getting your number of visitors, your unique visitors, conversion rates, and the sales, the revenue, everything here, all through split testing here. So it makes it real easy for you to split test, probably the easiest split testing for any platform at all. I mean, you don't have to, it's so easy. Yeah, the reason it didn't show up here is because I haven't set up the actual page here. All I did was say something about it, but the actual split test page here, I don't have anything set up. So now that I come here, let's see now if it will show me it, because I came here once. No, it didn't. Okay, stats. Okay, anyhow, it does work. It did work on my side, and it's probably because I have nothing in there that's no information on that for anybody to view. I don't have anything that says purchases or anything, so there's nothing for them to buy or anything. So what you need to do is you need to use your original page. Right, there's no HTML code on the split page, which is why it's not doing anything. So once you have this information, it would work, okay? If you guys want me to, I will do another page. Okay, split test, we'll say. And I'm going to save it. And again, I'm going to get the source code and just click it on here on my editor and save it. Again, I wanted it on my lead magnet. And I'm going to save it. Okay, now I'm going to go there to that page because that's my split test. Now we'll see if the, well, actually it sent me to the original page. But I'm going to do the information there, and it's a new split page, and I'm going to save it. Save the lead magnet and say it's a split page. And let's see if I didn't give it any weight. I need to give it a weight of even. And I'm going to make the first one. I can't actually change the first one, so I can only give it 50-50. Because it's a split page and you can't have the default. So there is that. Now I'm going to go again. So there's the split test. As you can see, the first time it sent me to the regular, the second time to the second split. So because I set it up for 50-50. Now let's check the split test stats. And as you can see, there's the split pages. So they're showing that one time for each of those. So there are your information. So you do need to have the HTML onto that in order to have the split page show up. Okay, so that's the split test. Very easy to set up a split test. What I would do is when you're using your HTML editor, whatever you're using, WYSIWYG or whatever, save your original and then make your changes and save it. Save the new sales page as, a split test. Then copy the new split test code here. And again, you need to add all the steps and everything. But as you can see, it takes about maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, once you know how to do this, to set up the entire funnel. So you can set up your entire funnel first. Probably in less than an hour, you can have your funnel set up plus your first split test. And then, as you can see, you can set up how much 50-50 or whatever, just whatever 10 is. The default is 10, so if you want them to be sent 50-50, you would need to make the weight 10. If you want only 25% of everybody to go to the new split page, then you would put 5 here. So then the default page, everybody would be sent to twice as often as to the split page. So you can do all of your split pages like that, okay? And I'm going to, again, unmute everybody. Does anybody?
So you can also.
I'm sorry.
So you can also make three pages.
You can have you can make up as many split pages as you want. So you can have a split page with your graphics. Then you can do another split page with your sales copy and another split page with that. Just every split page that you have, they're going to have the same weight. So if you have 4 split pages, 1/4 of the people will go to the default, 1/4 will go to the second, 1/4 to the third, and 1/4 to the fourth. So you can set up as many split pages as you want, and to test all your elements for as long as you want. Now, just keep in mind how many people you're going to get to your site. I mean, if you get very few people, 100 people, then the split test is not really going to be that accurate because 25 are going to go to each one, depending on how many you do. But if you get 1,000 people, then your split tests are going to be accurate because, you're going to get 250 to each page. You don't want to base your split testing on 5 or 10 people. So, you have to make sure that you're getting an adequate amount to your split testing.
Else you better can do it with 2 pages, and then a week later you do another split test.
Or if you want to do it here, if you want to set them all up, just make your end date longer. So maybe you want to do it for a month. So make it April 30th. And then you could have all 4. So it runs from March 23rd to April 30th. So then, you'll see. And then after that time, if you don't have enough stats, then you can prolong it again. Maybe make it another month. Or maybe you have stats enough for 1, but maybe you have your default and you found out that you get better returns from your graphics. So with a different set of graphics. So you would replace your default page with those new graphics. You would delete the split tests for the graphics, and then check your other split testing. Maybe make it run. So if you got 1,000 people to your default page, and 1,000 people that came to your thing, and 25% went to the default, and out of those, say 500 people that went to your default page, 450 people bought, and your graphics page that is also getting 500 people sent to it, only 100 people did it, then you know that default, the split graphics for the split graphics split testing is no good. So you would get rid of that split test and maybe try other graphics, or just now that these graphics work, you might want to continue the split testing for your sales copy, or for your for your anything that you want for the maybe the sales button, the copy on the sales button. Now remember, you can set up split testing for every single step too. So you could be testing your list building, your original default, which is for your entry level, and then you could be split testing for your lead magnet. You could be split testing for your upsell. You can do it for everyone all at one time. All you have to do is set them up. So, you would just, if for this list building one, this is my lead magnet, so I can split testing for my lead magnet. I can set up split testing for my entry product. Add split pages here. Once I set up for the entry products, you wouldn't want to do graphics again here. You might want to do graphics for the entry level, but I always use the same graphics for my lead magnet as I use for my sales page. At least the header I do. So, you might want to do that. But then on your upsells, you could do also, and I would not want to do new graphics on my upsells, but you can add a split page for your upsells to see how many people do you. So you could be running split pages on every step of your funnel. So you could be testing every single step in your funnel at the same time.
Which is, yeah, usually that is usually recommended practice.
Right.
To do it like that, as opposed to saying, oh, I'm only going to test my lead magnets to see how many people sign up. You really do need to know what is going to convert, on each step of your funnel.
Correct. That's it. So, the first step, of course, in your lead magnet is your lead magnet. So you want to make sure that you're getting people there. But you can set up again, while you're setting this up, you can split testing for all the way. And then maybe once you have your lead magnet, you split test your lead magnet for a month or so, then you can change your lead magnet page, sales page, to get to whatever it is, and now you're getting more people into your funnel, and you're going to be getting more accurate. So, the more split pages you put in, though, the longer you're going to have to run the split page test.
Yeah, right.
Because, you get 1,000 people to your lead magnet page, and because you're giving something away free, you're going to have a high opt-in rate, right? Especially if it's a single opt-in where they don't have to confirm it.
Right.
Which is what I do. I don't use double opt-in anymore. And the difference is, with the single opt-in, you're going to get more people. With a double opt-in, you're going to get more targeted people. So it's up to you what you want to use there. But I use the single opt-in because I want to get them into my Delavo system. You know, they're into my Delavo system. Now I can sell them again and again and again and again. Whereas double opt-in, how many people in the past where you did a double opt-in never hit the confirmation link? You know, so I mean, I don't,
That's right.
you know, so I do single opt-in. So, but so you're getting maybe 1,000 people, say 1,000 people to your lead magnet. 750 people choose to download the lead magnet. So they're now at your 750 people are at your entry level product. Well, of those, you know, the conversion rate is not that high, but we'll say it's high for purposes. So we say some 750, you get 500 for your entry product. Now, off of those 500, you give them an upsell, and only 250 take the upsell. So the further you go down, the lesser number of people are going to be there to actually test specific pages. So, you know, do check with, you know, the number. So again, you might want to test the first elements first, maybe your lead magnet and your entry product. You might only want to test those first, just so you're getting more people into your funnel. So once you do the split testing on those, then you might want to go further in and split test your upsells and your downsells.
Sure.
Okay?
Right. That's right.
Right?
Right. Yeah. I mean, and funnels really are designed not for product launches. They're for things that, hey, listen, I got these products. I'm gonna, you know, I have to find a way to sell them. And so guess what? You're just trying to get people into the funnel to take that particular offer or those set of offers.
Right. Well,
Anyway,
that's
you know.
that's why the lead magnet one is not as important as the entry product split testing,
Mhm.
because this is when
That's
you're
right.
actually trying for money. Because,
That's right.
like I said, on the lead magnet itself, you know, there's a high percentage of people that want something for free. So they're
Sure.
going to end it. Now they're in your funnel. Now you can start testing. And what you find out on your lead magnet page, say that on my lead magnet page, I'm testing graphics. And I found out that this graphic converts better. So I'm going to change the graphics on my lead magnet page, because I know that the graphics on my entry page are better. So, you know, you might not want to do split testing on lead magnets. It's up to you. What I would do is put the lead magnet in, see how many are actually joining or actually downloading the lead magnet. If you've got very few people actually taking your lead magnet, then you've obviously got to change the lead magnet, right?
Right.
So, you know, so it's up to you where you do it, the split. And as you can see, once you do it, you can see that it tells you when you have a split page here. So I have my lead magnet and it has a split page. So it tells me right there what I have. Okay. Okay. Any other questions on split pages?
No.
No? Okay. I'm going to mute everybody. And now we're going to go to the sales report. Okay. Sales reports is just the regular sales report. So here's my downsell page. It said I had one visitor. I didn't have anything else. My entry product, I had one visitor. My lead magnet, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. So you can, again, choose the dates and to the go, you know, how many to go. So it's telling me I had 8 visitors. I had 0 sales. And, you know, so I didn't really do too good. But of course, we're testing here. So, you know, you don't really care. So you can, again, do your sales report from certain dates to certain dates and show your deal report. And then, so, you know, sales report is pretty open. So this just tells you everything, all of your sales that you made for each specific step in the funnel. Okay, now the log. Now here's a log of everything here. Now, you want to test You always want to test your funnel before you set up. You want to make sure it works. I mean, it's not any good if people take your lead magnet and then they're not sent to your next step, which is your maybe your $7 product, your entry level product. So, but all that stuff is going to show here. So once you're testing it, this could be really, really long. Like it's telling me that I had 4 visits to the Don cell, 2 visits to the entry, 10 to the lead magnets, 10 here. Well, you don't really want all that information, do you, for it? So what you want to do when you're actually ready to go live is you want to check all the boxes and you want to delete visits to selected steps so that you don't have a log anymore, because you don't want to sit there and go through your log of how many times you tested this page or tested that page, right? You only want the logs of when the people actually came when you're live. So always test it first, and then after you're done testing and ready to go live, come in here, click all the buttons for the clean log, and delete the visits so you have a clean log for the actual sales when you're actually coming live, okay? And the other funnels, this is going to show you the other funnels that you've set up. So I actually have a new funnel set up here when I, of course, was setting up funnels because, as you all know, I didn't know how to do funnels and I had to learn, so I set up this funnel to actually learn how to set it up. So that, of course, is everything in funnels. There's only one other thing. In products, when you set up your funnels, I'm just going to click on this one here. Don't forget that you have something somewhere for here, the cost used in funnel split test statistics. So if you wanted to have a split test of a different price, then you would have to change that here, okay? For the product, for the split test, okay? So just remember you have to do that here. Okay, with that, that's everything I had to say. This was a long session, almost 2 hours, an hour and a half actually. So I'm going to unmute everybody and ask if they have any questions at all about the funnels. I'm going to Stephen and Johnny Walker. If Luke, what are you asking about? You can make 3. You're talking about split tests. You can make 10 split tests if you want.
Yeah. There was already before.
Yeah,
Okay.
we already discussed that.
Okay. Check on that one.
Okay. Well, I don't always look at the chat, so I'm not sure if I've always answered the question. So does anybody have any questions at all about split testing or about setting up a funnel?
Oh, it's a nice exploration area. So.
Okay, like I said, like everything in Delavo, you need, the first time you set something else, and something as complicated as funnels, I would test it every time I set up a funnel. Now, you know, I set up so many products, I don't test my products. I've set up so many OTOs, I don't actually test those anymore because, you know, I can do it blindfold. But funnels, because there's so many steps in a funnel, I would always test it. Okay, always test your funnels. And I will add that to the manual, testing funnels. I would add that to the manual that I have written about testing everything. Because there is one manual, right, that I said I would add more stuff to it as we went along. Okay, so any question, no questions at all about funnels? No? Okay. I'm clicking pause.